Okay, every year before school starts I try and take a backcountry trip with my son. This is my gear this year. I find out every year I want to take less and less stuff. This is 26 pounds including food but not including water. It's not necessarily ultralight gear. We were up in the Bighorn Mountains, 9,000 feet. Took fire roads and game trails, no really established hiking trails. Did some backcountry camping. Water was available. 3 days, and it was 80 during the day, and it got the water froze at night, got down below 32 at night, or about 32. So this is what I got. I use this Big Bear pack. Again, I've had this gear for quite a while. I find that something with some kind of a aluminum frame on it works better than the ultralight packs. I have them. This weighs 3 3/4 pounds. Sleeping bag, I use this Swiss Sport mummy bag. It's a synthetic bag, 32 pounds. It works fine, 32 degrees rated. It weighs 3 pounds, works okay. I have a Cocoon inflatable pillow here. I don't have a big puffy jacket with a stuff sack, so that's what I do there, 3 pounds. Sleeping pad, I use this Ecotech Outdoors insulated pad, weighs 1.5 pounds. It's fairly heavy, but it's very comfortable. I did get a pinhole leak in it this year, and that's from a seam because I use it in my tent. So, but I do like it. I got an email to the company. Hopefully they'll kind of honor the warranty. I have a 1-man or 1.5 man person tent. It weighs 3 pounds. A Eureka Spitfire with poles, 3 pounds. So it works well. I've had it in all kinds of weather. I've tried hammocking and other things. That seems to work the best. Cook system, fairly heavy, 2 pounds. So I use one of these cheap Chinese isobutane stoves that you get for 10 bucks. I've had this thing for like 3 years, used it probably 1,000 times. It works fine. Piezo lighter doesn't work, but that's okay. I have a big canister of fuel here. Of course it's heavy. These are the most readily available. I have a stainless steel pot. It's over 1 liter. It's got a nice bail on it. It's got handles. It pours nicely. Weighs 12 ounces. It's got a lid here that stays on fairly nice. And then I have 2 cups in here. One I use as a bowl and one I use for my coffee cup. So again, that's fairly heavy, but it does do the job really nicely for me. I mean, I find I can carry all this gear about 10 miles without many issues. All right, food bag. Got some wipes in here. Got some cordage, and this is 6 pounds of food for 3 days. Includes a pound of peanut butter. Here's my little water, or my coffee filter, a little pour over filter, and a little soap in there. Worked really well for me. I was pleased with this whole setup. Animals aren't too much of a concern. We hang it up mainly for our benefit more than really the animals. Okay, some other supplies that I keep. I keep a glow stick with me. I have a headlamp inside my pack at all times. Sure, it weighs a little extra because I carry 2 of them. I use these oven bags as liners for my sleeping bag and my clothes. I have a Deuce of Spades trowel. This works really nicely around the fire pit, and of course cat holes, and you can do coals with it. Weighs about nothing, 20 bucks. A lighter, carabiner. This is the power supply that I use. It's 30,000 milliamp hours, or 30 amp hours. That can charge a phone, GPS, tablet, computer, 2-way radios over USB. So this is heavy. It's about 1 pound, but works well. Take a spare pair of eyeglasses with me. Some mosquito repellent, hot sauce, and a little bit of cooking oil. This is a down vest in a waterproof bag. Again, I don't have a big puffy down jacket, so I use that. This is a rain kilt. Here's my clothes bag. This weighs a little over 4 pounds, and even this compression sack weighs about 4 ounces. So yeah, it's pretty heavy, but this really works well for me. Again, I don't have big jackets, so I just use a rain break shell and a full wool sweater, some wool mittens, the oven liner bag, some wool socks, for at night. This is my wool base layer for during the day. Extra pair of briefs. Some Under Armour type base layer. A base layer Under Armour type 32 degree heat. Got one on and one to change into. Little towel. Extra pair of socks and neck gaiter. So that's pretty heavy. I'd like to lighten that up, but without spending a lot of money, I'm not really going to be able to do that. And it's fairly bulky. This is why I can't really go into an ultralight pack, because this is just too bulky for this kind of setup. Alright, this is my bag for my cook kit. This is my day pack stuff that if I'm going on a day hike and we're going off on a game trail, this is what I take. Got a little skull cap, some fingerless gloves, or just Walmart gloves with the fingers cut off to be able to work and not get my hands all mucked up. I use an SOL Escape Bivy. This is a somewhat breathable, non-totally waterproof, but I used that as a bivy over my sleeping bag. That's how I was able to get down to 32 degrees. I was still a little cold. Another little glow stick in there. Some braided paracord for a little ridge line to make an improvised shelter. Here's a poncho. I don't use this as a poncho. I mainly use this as a improvised cooking shelter, or when I'm out and it's going to rain, really bad storm, I got to do a bivouac. This is a Silnai 1 Tigris, weighs about 10 ounces. Pretty happy with that. My water filter, I use a Rapid Pure filter. They can filter viruses for the first 25 gallons, and then it's regular bacterial, crypto, giardia, those kinds of things. This is kind of my EDC kit here that I take with me if I'm going out on a day hike. I put some of it on my belt and around my neck. So here's a sighting compass, a little fire steel. I use the Victorinox one-handed trekker as my main knife. It's got a locking main blade and a saw and a tweezers, can opener, and an awl and a screwdriver. A little bit of fat wood there. And then I do have a Leatherman, because I don't have a full multi-tool, I do take a Leatherman Micra here with the scissors and the pliers to work around the fire. It's got a whistle. A little emergency kit here, has some duct tape, moleskin, ace bandage, rubber gloves, pad, Neosporin, Advil, a little bit of soap. Just kind of a health kit. Here's my raincoat that I always use as a shell. It's Columbia urethane type coat, not very expensive, works good enough for what I have to do. This is my main headlight. It has a USB chargeable battery, so I can charge it off the power pack. I take a sit pad with me, sit down on, kneel on, keep yourself off the damp wet ground. And then I take some surveying tape and a Sharpie. And this is what I can leave a little signal or a little message to my hiking partner. So if I'm a couple of 100 yards ahead and I don't want to stop and wait for him for whatever reason, or we get a little disoriented, or we're going to go into the woods off of the trail and maybe onto a game trail, I'll mark the direction and the time, using the compass on the Sharpie and hang it from there, put my name on there so I know when I was there. Now if I want to go a little more luxury and do a little more base camping, and I think I'm going to be kind of sitting around camp, I'll add a couple of things. I'll add this machete here. So this is to be able to, cut some trees and branches. Nothing big, but split wood. Can do batoning wood, because I'm not going to baton with my folding knife. So that works good. Have a little space for some a file in there, and a lighter, so I could use that as a little bit of a survival tool. I always take one trekking pole with me, but I might take two. These are the Phison 3-piece aluminum ultralights. Very good pole. Highly recommend these things. Very nice. And then if I want to go real luxury, I will take this little tripod chair, which weighs a pound. So, all this is going to weigh 2.5, 3 pounds. So I'm going to be up to 30 pounds now without water. And then for my hiking shoes, I just want to give a shout out to the Obos Sawtooth. Those really have a lot of good support. I have to buy a new pair about every 6 months because I use them as my main shoes. But I really thought I would need full-on hiking boots, but I don't. Those work good enough. So that's my hiking kit for this year. Thanks for watching.